What's your dream car? And this is my dream car, my 2013 Chrysler 300 luxury sedan. It's a 3.6 V6 naturally aspirated engine. My dream became my reality on New Year's Eve 2022. With the wife's permission and enough money, I got this. In 2004, Chrysler came out with the first Chrysler 300. They've only ever had two shapes since. The very first one was based very much on the Bentley style of car, and hence it became very, very popular. Now, ever since getting my dream car, there were a few issues at the time that I took care of straight away, but there are a few issues that I never got to, and they need to be addressed. So we're going to walk around the car and I'm going to explain what they are. Okay, the first issue, and one of the most important issues, is that the clear coat on my bonnet is starting to lift. It originally started as something really small and it's just grown, and I just haven't had the time to be able to get to it. But I've just noticed this week more spots are starting to appear, so it needs to be addressed really quickly. So with these beautiful 20-inch factory alloys, they're a bit scuffed. The clear coat is also starting to lift and making them look pretty ugly. Also, the wheel nuts. They're not the original ones, and they've got to be changed out as well. Onto the interior. There's parts of the steering wheel are starting to lift a little bit, so they need to be glued down. And when it comes to the veneer that's through here with the real wood, it's not very thick. It's only about 1 millimeter, and I would actually like to re-varnish it in some way, shape or form. Also, this main trim here on the center console is starting to lift, so I'm wondering if we can either replace it or do something special, get it rubbed back maybe and get it painted. As you can see here, the leather is starting to split on the seats, and I'll show you the spot in the back. I did try and treat it when I first got the car, but the leather was too hard. As you can see in the back seat too, there wasn't even one, but again, the leather is quite hard, and that has just become really bad over the last year. This has a fantastic sound system in it. It is a Harman Kardon sound system, but the dash speaker here on the driver's side at the front is completely distorted, and that has to be replaced. There's an issue with the drainage for the sunroof. There are 4 drainage points on the sunroof. This rear passenger side, I'm pretty sure, is blocked, and we've got to address that, because when it's raining, it's been parked overnight, and you take off in the morning, if you happen to have a passenger, they're going to have a second shower for the day. This is a big one. When I bought the car, the dash mat was already here, and it wasn't until the next day that I discovered that the entire leather cover has peeled back. That is gonna be a big one. One of the things when I first bought the car, obviously I took it for a test run and I nearly ended up deaf. And when I got back to the dealership, I looked at the back and found the two silencers had been removed. A custom exhaust system had been put in. So it sounds fantastic. It sounds like a nice big fat V8, but it is deafening. And as a musician, I do treasure my hearing. So let's just have a listen first. So hopefully you can hear what it is that I get to hear every day. It's a very low rumbling, and at times parts of the car are vibrating, you can hear them. So the way to address that, I think, is by soundproofing the boot. So I've already bought that material, we just actually got to put it in, and hopefully that will make a big difference. So that's a full run through on everything we've got to do with the Chrysler 300. The question is, what do I start with? The decision has been made. The first job is to put the soundproofing into the boot to see if I can reduce the noise that the car makes inside the car. So to install what it is that I've bought off eBay, we need to take everything out of the boot. So that is the mats, that is the hard cover, the spare wheel, everything. It has got to be absolutely spotlessly clean, because this stuff, even though it's quite sticky, it needs to be able to stick really, really well. And as you can see here, this was on the inside of the car when you folded the seats down. There was no way I was going to undo all of that. So it was just fold that side cover out of the way, exposing the side, because I still need to be able to get the soundproofing material on that metal where I'm vacuuming right now. And as you can see, this thing is dusty. Anyway, I've got a small brush on the end of the vacuum to help release all the dirt and dust that was in the car. We live in a really, really dusty area, unfortunately. And this is just part of the consequences of being in this area. So anyway, the vacuuming took quite a while, and it's obviously not just the vacuuming. I then had to wipe it over, rinsing the cloth out several times to make sure it was as clean as possible, and just keep wiping it over. I need to make it as dust-free as possible. Here is the material itself. I actually got the double thickness stuff. The important stuff is that it sticks to the metal as much as possible, because that's what actually helps reduce the volume, is the fact that the stuff is reducing the vibration of the actual frame of the car, the metal of the car. So first thing is to put it in place, the first sheet, draw on it with a marker pen, cut it out where it needs to be cut out, and then putting it in place by removing the backing paper, as you're about to see, after checking it that it's in the right place. And I've cut it in the right place, that is. And then sticking it in. And once you've started, there is no going back. This stuff is sticky, but you've got to take the time to press it in. Remember, the sheet metal in cars is grooved for strength. So you've got to rub all those grooves, all the material into the grooves to make sure it sticks. Now you can see there's a tiny amount of black stuff at the bottom of the boot tray, but not like this stuff. So it's just rinse and repeat, working out the sheet sizes that you've got, trying to maximize the use of the sheets. They're just big rectangle ones, and you've got to use every piece that you can, even the little triangles that you end up cutting off. Stick in there somewhere. It'll help reduce the vibrations, because that's the ultimate aim. So it's not just this area on the very base of where the spare wheel sits, but it's on the walls that then surround it, like just around, like you can see me putting in here. Now I do need to get some more material. I don't have enough after we finish the job, but this one pack went a long way. Now I need to get it under the battery. So off with the positive terminal, off with the negative terminal, off with the battery strap. Then there was one battery clamp holding it on the boot end of the battery, and out with the battery. Wasn't light either. Then the actual battery tray itself was a big metal plate, curved up the side, bolted 2 bolts on the side and 2 bolts on the bottom. All of them had to come out. Never had been out before, that was obvious, because I need to get material under this as well. Like I said, the idea is to cover the boot space as much as possible. There we go. Callum's got the vacuum. You can see the dust. And of course, after it's vacuumed, give it a wipe. Get it as clean as possible. The ultimate aim is to get this stuff to stick to the metal. Rub it into the grooves. Now, like I said, I got the double thickness rubber material because I really want to try and reduce the sound inside the car as much as possible. Yep, we got some noisy animals. Once that's in and pressed in place and I'm happy with it, it was back in with the battery tray. Putting back in the 4 bolts. I had marked out where the holes were and cleared the way for the holes for the bolts to go back into the holes. Then back in with the battery. Get it clamped in first. After it's clamped in, put on the negative terminal and then the positive terminal. They're both held on with 10mm bolts, and then back on with the battery strap, making sure it's tight. And make sure, like any good tradie, which I'm not, clean up after yourselves. And then it's a reversal of everything I've just done. So, putting the side skirts back in place, putting all the clips back in place. And as you can see, the light's just starting to go down because I kind of started this a little too late in the afternoon. Now, using the original hole spots, using a pair of scissors just to clear the way and putting clips back in place. Put the back of the boot tray back in, the cover, back in with the spare wheel, back in with the pin that holds it down, locking it back in place, putting the jack and the wheel brace back in place, back in with the hard cover, then to the inside of the car where the Velcro then sticks onto the back of that cover. Well, that's pretty much that job done. And lastly, back in with the boot mat, and that's the job done. Team, that is a wrap up for this Chrysler video. The dream car became my reality. Yours can too. You just got to put a plan together and make it happen. But she needs a lot of work. So over the coming months that will happen. I've got to buy bits and pieces as we go along because there are still other things to work on as well. The C200 is getting very, very close to being finished. Hence this one, because I needed some more time to be able to get the shed prepped, ready to turn it into a paint booth. So that is coming, and very soon. And then that is pretty much it done. It's a matter of getting it over the pits and getting it past. But in the meantime, welcome to my dream car. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please like, please share the videos with people who you know like these kinds of videos, getting cars fixed up, back on the road, and just like cars in general. Anyway, see you on the next one.